And I'd like to invite you now. We are approaching a protective meditation based on Rudolf Steiner's words. He gave it for people who are meditating. And he says, if one meditates and tries to build up good inner forces, one is an interest object for any other object that would try and distract one. But at the same time, with the protective meditation, it's not necessarily about warding off new physical attacks, but something happens in us which somehow has catapulted us somewhere within ourselves. As Truth also said, what usually happens in meditation or after death is then experienced. The trauma, then in trauma, the challenges happen within us, gives us feelings of guilt where there is no guilt, reacting to words that are meant in a different way, but they remind me of something, and then something happens within me. It's a kind of a self harming. We've heard this in the group as well. How do we get to the point of peace within me? Peace within me. And therefore, this could fit quite well, protecting oneself from what is attacking us and doesn't allow us to come to ourselves and to keep developing. And that's a continuation of the trauma experience. And now I invite you to join in and to try this out. And I do it very briefly. And everybody can feel their way into it. The words are: the outer membrane of my aura should condense into an impenetrable vessel towards all impure thoughts and feelings. It may only open to divine wisdom. And the first would be that we carefully feel our way outward, getting bigger very carefully, but in truth, I'm going within myself. I stay within myself. How tall can I become and still be within me? And then very slowly, I form an envelope with my arms around me so that I have a protective space, like a warming blanket, woolen blanket. And I do this 2 or 3 times out, but I remain within me. And I form this boundary. And then for a 3rd time, I feel my way out, and then this boundary. And then we let power stream into the arms, and we make it really stable. We feel there grows a protective force, like the shell of a nut. Something wonderful can happen inside, but there is safety. And then we very slowly turn our hands and we open slightly towards the head and slightly down as well, as if we were holding something away from us. And then if we feel this outer, like this envelope, we feel it, and then very carefully we turn the hands like a key, and we do it, we open the door very, very carefully, just slightly, not in order to go out, but in order to receive good forces. And we let that arrive at our body, so that we feel it in our heels. It's like a vessel, like a bowl where you can put fruit in, or where we look at our child, and then we let go and breathe. Maybe with the words now. The outer sphere of my aura condenses, or may condense. And now, an impenetrable vessel. Within there is life. The hands we now turn outward and then slightly upwards towards the light, and slightly downwards, more oriented towards the body. Impure, unfair thoughts, feel it at the top, feel it at the bottom. Turn the hands very carefully, mindfully. It may only open. And do dare to take a step forward. I step forward in order to receive divine wisdom. Wisdom. And then breathe and let go. Once more, before I give some explanations. May the outer sphere of my aura condense. Into an impenetrable vessel against all impure, unfair thoughts and feelings. It may open only to divine wisdom. And let your breathing respond. In eurythmy, we always try to work in a way that in the end, the breathing can react. One principle in eurythmy is that nothing is lost. We are not open at the end again and everything can come in, but it's like in life, what happened is what I carry within me, and in eurythmy too, the condensed membrane, I can feel how that holds everything away from me, and that remains even when I take this step forward, that I still feel, they are still there. Maybe if we just try that, we erect a building that stays within the protective space. We then open a very small opening where only certain small things can come in that we have chosen, and only those we receive. Our outer sphere of my aura may condense The breathing goes along with it. Into an impenetrable vessel. Breathing continues. It feels good being so protected against all impure and dishonest thoughts and feelings. This membrane, this envelope is there. I can press against it. It will stay there. It may open only, and now the work starts. Can I hold this membrane? Is it still there? Then I can step into this sphere, this protected sphere, to divine wisdom. And breathe again. That's just a few small details. If I just say my hands are down there and they stream upwards, if you do the same, and then I go into my hands and I can have the feeling it pulls me out there, quickly stop. Or if I stream downwards and I go along with it and I stream, and then it presses down, and I'm glad when I can let go of it again and get out of that. But if we do something and we feel ourselves, then the opposite happens. I have my hands, we try how I feel, but I also feel my body. I stream upwards, but I'm not losing myself. And suddenly this brings me down into my feet. I turn my hands round, stream down. I feel this, but I also still feel myself. And suddenly that makes me bigger. All by itself, not because I stretched. I just streamed up and down and I felt myself. All the rest happens by itself. And then just breathe. And now, if we go out with this into the aura and we transfer this, then that means really, if I lose myself in that, then in reality, I go into myself because things happen in myself. Let's try this. I weave with my hands outward very loosely, but it goes deeper and deeper into me. I can feel my body more and more. Suddenly I feel the outer sphere of my aura, but I am within myself. And everything that happens now happens within me, and it condenses there. And then let go briefly. And there's another interesting thing, that we have letters in German that we have them combined with vowels, like L, F, the A is in front. And in B, the E is behind the B. And if I do L, there is something before. The center of this movement is inside. And with the B, if you feel outward, and you could feel that it is the other way around. The roots of the forces are outside then, and the arms, so they are outside, there are roots, and the stems are growing from all sides like a plant. The arms are like leaves, and in front of my heart is the blossom. And the force streams from the outside in, like in a bud, and form the fruit. So if we feel that again, weaving outward, that pulls me into my middle. I connect somehow in my imagination with what is out there, the seeds, the roots, the plant grows towards me, and the bee envelops me. And now, when the strength arises, then the fruit can grow inside, the blossom, everything. And then I let go and breathe. If you stretch out your hands and you hold them flat downwards, there is a bit of tension entering, and then you can turn your hands upward and back down again. And if they have this tension and you hold it like this and you let the body feel into this, it can be as if there was a sunrise happening inside. The sun is rising and the sun is setting. The turning power of the hands, feel that. Feel what a conscious turning of the hands, what effect it can have in me. And with that consciousness, if we turn our hands like that again, and then feel, or we can receive this fine wisdom. The outer sphere of my aura, I arrive inside me. I feel outside, but also within, may condense. Something grows towards me. And now we give a bit of strength as like a bud that becomes fruit, that ripens, grows a shell, protection, becomes an impenetrable vessel. Now turn your hands against, very consciously, against all impure, dishonest thoughts and feelings. And now turn your hands again very mindfully. It may open only. And now very, very gentle. Feel your lower arms receive. Take one step forward to divine and let it come towards you. Let it come in. That brings me into my heels and I can feel something restful in my arms. Wisdom. And I'm wholly within myself, and I still feel those enveloping membranes condensed from the outside. And they are special places where good forces can enter me. And let go, breathe, sit down, and let it resonate. Just a word about wisdom. We often say, and especially with trauma, one has the tendency one does have to find something, whether it was good for something or if difficult things happen, there are people who say, well, that there is wisdom behind all that. But I think we can learn to think differently, because it does, whether it happens in nature or through people, many things are just destructive. And I don't think that divine wisdom works with real destructiveness. And we can learn to feel that when such disasters happen, there is great excitement, uproar in the spiritual world. How can we put this right again? And then there's lots of whispering, and because one tries to make something good of it, and we can try to feel that there was not wisdom in what happened, but that maybe there are forces that are trying to make it somehow good, and the greatest wisdom prevails in that attempt. And we try maybe with the helping forces to work with them. We can feel them in wisdom, and these forces we can let come towards us. Because I've been 5 minutes too long, you will have 5 minutes more break. We meet at 1:15 here, and in 10 minutes. And there are many variations for this protective robe. I could imagine a blue mantle, a blue robe for children, for instance, but adults can also use this. That was even proposed by Rudolf Steiner.